There are three types of willow walls: the vertical willow wall, the horizontal willow wall, and the put it all in one place willow wall. And I am sure there are many more types to build a willow wall, but in this video you'll learn how to do these three. In our hay storage, and the manure container will be here too, I have put some willow walls. This system is where you can put multiple poles and just stack the willows between them so they're just loose there. That is not what we did here. This is the situation where the hay arrived and I suddenly realized that we had all these willow branches still underground here where the tractor would have to go over. So that is why we just put it all over there, and it's perfectly great there. But this is a temporary spot for these. We want to use all of these in the way we already have here, and maybe even in another spots. But of course, this is a system that you can choose for. Then you have to put two poles next to each other, or even with a little bit space between them, and then braid the willows between them. We have gone for a different approach. There are two goals for my willow walls. The first one is to provide some shade and some shelter from the wind and even maybe the rain. That is what we went vertical for. And also for the view. I don't really like how these plastic bales look, but because I don't have a roof and I can't build one, I don't have a permit for that, I need to have these plastic bales, and I don't think they're pretty. So that is mostly why I went all the way around, and also maybe to prevent people from stealing stuff in here, who knows. So on the outer side of the storage and of my piece of land, I went horizontal and not vertical, because I don't need to have shelter from this. I don't need this to be high. I need this to cover up as much as I can, and I will be using the leftover branches for that. So you can't really see plastic bales from that far. So how we made this is by using long, thick branches, or thick enough to put a nail in. So at every pole, and I placed pole at about every 2 meters, if I'll use my steps to count. So they need to be at least 2 meters long. I try to have them even on 3 poles, so then the branches are 4 meters long. And we just put a nail at every pole. So that is how they are secured. And I do like that people aren't really invited to go inside, because already right now I'll have to walk all the way around it to get in, because I can't really anywhere I can't get between. There are also branches lower, but of course with the high grass you can't really see them. I also just really think it's pretty, and we'll add more to them. Here we still have an area where I didn't put that many branches. I did this part together with my boyfriend and we were done with it. And there are a lot of distils. I don't know the English word. They're very pokey, so it's not fun to add the branches here, but I want to show you how to do it, and this is the only place I haven't done yet, so I'll show you here. But first I also want to show you what I did with the vertical willow wall. So here you can see the inside of the wall. Some pieces are still falling off because of course the horizontal branches are going to die. The horses can eat from them. You can see it a little bit, but they started to do so on this one. And they're fine to do so because they only eat the outer side. I don't know the English word, but they only eat the outer side and they leave the rest of the branch. So it's fine that they eat a bit. Other than that, this side is also done with nails. And that is pretty much the same as the horizontal part. The difference here is that we also put in some branches in the ground. So we dug a hole. The deeper you go, the higher the chance that these willows are gonna grow again. Of course, we don't know if they're gonna grow again, but if I look around, I see lots of new growth on them. Also on this one. So I'm pretty sure they will grow leaves. Willows are also pretty easy trees. They like to grow anywhere. So that's really nice. I got all of these branches for free. They were laying at the barn from the property, and they wanted to get rid of it, and I said, well, I'll take all of them. So I took a lot of them in my car, and it still wasn't all, but it's just a lot of work to get them in your car and drive back and forth. So this is what we have. We took the thicker ones like these, and the longer ones and the straight ones, because of course you don't want them to go into a Y. And then we just dug as deep as a hole as we could with the ground drill, so that it wouldn't be that much of an impact to the ground. And yeah, just kind of put them between. And these ones are new, but some we dug holes later for them, but some were already planted right at the beginning, and they are super secure. You can't really get them out of the ground anymore, and that's a good sign, because that means they have probably started to root into the ground. So this will eventually grow into really a shady place with a lot of leaves for the horses to have some cover for the sun. I used a few things for this DIY. I used a saw to get all the excess branches off. Of course you can do that with like a garden scissor thing, but I don't have that, so I just used a saw. When they are dry, you can even just snap them off, so that's easy. And also, just if they're too long and it's just a bit too loose and might be dangerous if they stab into a horse, then I'll cut them off or saw them off. And I got nails. And you can see this area is not watertight. Where we put the storage units are not watertight. But that's okay, because even a rusty nail can put a branch in there. And of course a hammer. And of course the willow branches. I have some random ones here. And you just knock them in. And that is what I did. I'll show you what I did, and before we go to those clips, I'll show you some of the clips from when I was actually doing the rest. I have some clips but without sound, so you can just see the progress of everything, and then I'll show you like the steps on how to do this. Okay, fun side adventure. I wanted to have my camera here and be in here so I can get the branches on there, but then I saw this. Here you see the amount of lice. I don't want that on me. But then I also saw a ladybug. I really like how you can really see how nature works here, because ladybugs eat the lice. You have to call your friends, buddy, because there's a lot. Well, this one wins, so you're good busy. All right, let me film it. So I got my branch, got my nails and my hammer, and then I basically just hold it, and I think I'll just put the nails on the outer side because I don't want to be in all those prickly plants. I think I'm gonna put it like this. You just have to kind of be creative. Like this one is loose all the way. I forgot about that, so I'll put a hammer in that first. But it won't be able to reach all the way to here. So if I put the branch that I have new and put it in here, then this will be secure as well. And I won't be able to reach the next one anyway, because this is going to be too narrow for that. So I can just saw that bit off. That is basically how this goes. So I'm basically just the whole time thinking, oh, should it be like this? Should it be like this? How many should I add underneath? What should I cut off so it's safe? Of course, I'll cut these one off because they're in the way of the path. That is all it is, actually. Yes. Okay, new branch. There I go. And the ones that look most healthy, I'll have them in the ground, vertical. And the ones like this one, doesn't really look that happy anymore, but it is very long, so I can do it on all three. Those I use for this, because they're already dying anyway. No, won't be able to do it on all three. So this is a moment where you could choose to, so I knocked in this one, Could also do this one because of course it's attached, but I could also just saw this part off because this is not really doing anything. In fact, I don't really feel safe that if someone is walking here and the wind goes, they get stabbed. So all these loose parts will have to be sawed off anyway. Another big Y-shaped one, but the end of this one, of the lower one, might still be thick enough for me to put a nail in there. I'm gonna have to put a bigger nail in there. So for those bigger branches, I have bigger nails. Like the one that I put in barely went through, and this one will definitely go through. I'll first saw off the excessive pieces, like this one, because then it is obvious for me again that it would be nicer if there was an extra branch between these two. Also some lower ones still, mostly on this side. This is already pretty nicely done, but like this one has to go, these have to go. Who knows, maybe I'll end up putting another branch between them. So it looks a lot neater right away as well. It's very clear that I can put one between here, below here, maybe below this one, and I had to get some excess branches of that part too, and it's very clear that that needs another branch as well. Right over there, the top one, because this goes down too much, so I want a straight one on top of that. So I'll knock those in as well. And now we have our end finished. I'm very pleased with what it looks like, and I hope this video inspired you if you want to make a willow wall, and I hope you understand now how to do it. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask them in the comments. I'll make sure to help you, give you some tips or answer your questions on whatever you're asking. And I hope you get to make your barn even prettier as well. Plus, the biggest benefit of this all is of course that the horses can eat the bark, and it's very healthy for them. It's actually pain killing. So all the ends that we don't use, I give to the horses and they really love it. So that's just another plus to this whole how-to. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in another one. Bye!